touch, we break. Make it seem like we feel the same. We love what we hate. We lie, but we know we can't wire do it.
Me? Lose my touch? Never that. If I did, ain't no problem to get the gat. Where the true play is at. Throw your rollies in the sky. Wave 'em side to side and keep your hands high while I give your girl the eye. Play it, please. This is Wood. Welcome to Mental Policing.
At least it was worth a try. At least it was worth a try.
Hey guys, like I said, this is Wood and welcome to Mental Policing. In case you didn't catch the reference in the intro, that was Mo Money, Mo Problems by the notorious B.I.G. Old Biggie. And if you still haven't figured out what we're going to discuss today, it's money. All about the Benjamins, baby. How do we make it work? Do we get paid enough? Should we get more? We know we won't get rich in this profession, but what exactly is rich? When I was starting my life out as a young adult, my father told me there are two things that can ruin your life every bit as much as it can make it better. Those two things? Sex and money. In any order. Since I don't want to talk sex on this episode, let's talk money. First things first. You'll never get rich working this job. And I guess while that's technically true, what does it mean to be rich? Everyone has their own idea of what that can mean. It has taken me some years, but I feel like I'm rich. Yes, I'm going to get cheesy for just a moment and tell you that for me, rich is being surrounded by the ones that I love, family and friends. I've kept myself out of debt for the most part, so not worrying about money every single day makes me feel comfort. When I'm doing the things I love to do, like being with my family, running, electronicking, talking, joking, even watching sports, this is where I get my life's high. But not everyone is me, and not everyone enjoys the same things. So you may still be looking for your riches. I am sure, though, however, everyone is probably yelling at me that it's $1 million. But it isn't always that. And in this job, you'll never have millions. You're in public service. We will only ever make as much as the system will allow us to. If making money is your sole purpose to getting into law enforcement, then you need to reevaluate why you are in this profession. If money is what you want, and you've found a way to make that money doing lots of overtimes, maybe you should consider reevaluating your strategy. You ever notice that one of the very first things that officers with a few years of experience complain about? The next raise. When is it coming? Why is there a freeze? We never get raises. Agency so-and-so gets paid X amount more than we do. Remember last episode when I mentioned that the grass might not always be greener over there, even though the money is? Consider what comes with that dollar. If we started this career never expecting to get rich, why do we expect to get rich with the next raise? Is this an issue with the pay structure, or is it a deeper rooted issue, and maybe we don't feel appreciated for the job that we do? That's a different episode for later on. Well, what is the dollar number you need to stop worrying about the next raise? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever contemplated that? Is that even a real number? And if not, maybe that's not the issue. To quote Barrett Strong, the best things in life are free, but you can give those to the birds and bees. I need money. That's what I want. Next, why do overtime shifts become something that we can't do without? Let me play a scenario for you. When you start this job, it's probably a raise from the job you were working before. For me, it was. So the money is enough. Then you see this or that thing that you want. You figure, if I just pick up one extra shift, maybe two, I can purchase the item that I'm after. And that becomes really easy, so you do it again. What's one more time? What's three more times? 4. Then 15 years later, a mortgage, 3 side-by-sides, a boat, and a golden doodle named Todd. You can't quit working overtimes because you couldn't afford any of it. And you're in debt up to your ears, as they say. That extra money is so nice when you get it. It's nice in a pinch. But too often it becomes what we need to survive. What are you sacrificing for a few extra dollars? We become such adrenaline junkies that even purchasing big items becomes a thrill and a rush. When we rarely have time to use those things we buy, they often become a source of contention. We have to work to pay for them, but we don't have enough time to take off to play with them. Why do we do this? Why do we need the next best thing? I've been guilty of it. Hell, I love electronics. I love computers and phones and all of those things. I have way too many, some would say. And as I sit and record this episode, I can look out and see probably too many purchases that I've made in this regard. But I won't go into debt for it. I won't work overtimes to purchase it. I've taught myself over the years, and with a little guidance from that same father that gave me 2 key life strategies, that if I don't have the cash to buy it, it doesn't come home with me. Listen, I'm not trying to go all Dave Ramsey on you on this episode, so I'll try and keep my financial advice limited. However, when you stop and think about it, we are offered a lot when it comes to this career. We have medical benefits, and this is such a huge perk. I don't know how I would have done it all these years with so many kids with no medical insurance. We are given the opportunity to contribute to a 401 or a 457, and oftentimes our employers are willing to contribute and match that as well. Some don't, and that's fine. We are offered a pension at the end of a few decades of work, and some will argue that it's not enough for the work we do. I can see that. But others would argue that after a few decades of work, they have no pension. I know the struggles of starting out, and it feels like you do all this difficult work for little pay, and to a degree that is true. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. I've been upside down on loans, and very little in my bank account. I've also gone without the things that I think I need that turn out to actually just be wants. It is hard. But if you take the time to focus on what's really important, build a strong support system around you, and find happiness in that, then all the other little money woes can be worked out over time. I also know some of us would love to have a significant other stay at home and not have to work. After all, in our profession, we are fixers, we're doers, and we try to take all the burden and pain away from people. Why wouldn't we want to do that in our own home? Sadly, times have changed. And to be able to do that anymore is extremely difficult, especially in public service. In the private sector, where the real money is, this is more attainable vision. We are here for a good long while. We might as well try and be happy. Here's an idea. How about instead of keeping up with the Joneses, you try and be who you are. Set the example for people around you and have them join alongside you. There's no need to one-up your coworker. And sometimes people enter this profession with money already at their disposal. Doesn't mean you have to break your neck trying to keep up with them. You should never sacrifice precious time with your loved ones so you can earn an extra dollar. I'm not opposed to any and all overtime. I'm just saying be careful. Be mindful of the amount of time you're spending out of your home to make that money. Because if you're not spending that time, somebody might. What can you do to make it different? What can you eliminate so you don't have to work an extra overtime? An observation I made when overtime is that when we're young, we have the ambition and desire to be like those 20 years ahead of us in the game. We want the financial freedom, the relaxation of life, the paid-off home, Well, don't forget that everything you see that they now have, they started where you're standing. Don't be so quick to try and finish the marathon, or you won't even make it. So keep working, keep doing what you do, and be the very best of it. Earn a little extra cash when it's appropriate, but do not sacrifice your happiness for $1. And to end, I'll quote the Bare Naked Ladies. If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I'd be rich. This is Wood. This is Mental Policing. And I will see you on the next one.
We touch, we break, make it seem like we feel the same. We love what we hate. We lie, but we know we can't water what doesn't grow. Give up, let it go. Well, we fell apart just